A key discovers a headless, dismembered body. He even had his genitals cut off. The forensic examination revealed that the genitals had been deliberately mutilated. The police confirmed the identity of the deceased after information comparison. Song Rentu operates a furniture factory. His wife, Jai Songliang, reported a few days ago that Song Rentu was missing. The police arrived at Song Rentu's house. His wife was crying profusely. "We urge the police to catch the murderer and avenge him." Jai Songliang said that Song Ren has not returned home since he went out the day before yesterday. "At first, I thought he went out to dinner with friends. But 2 days later, he still hadn't come home." Unable to reach Song Rentu, so they called the police. After the investigation, the police quickly focused on Song Rentu's social connections. Found the breakthrough in the neighborhood where the bodies were discarded. Living with them were Song Rentu's lifelong friends, Lai Zongping and Shi Zhengxiang. This raises many doubts. It is very likely that Song Rentu went to find this couple that night when the incident happened. The police quickly arrived at Lai Zhongping's home, planning to conduct an inquiry. When the door opened, a group of police officers stood at the entrance. Lai Zhongping, looking disheveled, appeared very anxious. He desperately used his body to block the door crack. This left the police officers present feeling very puzzled. A young police officer, with a shove, Lai Zhongping burst into the room. He could enter the house. The young police officer blushed. The room was in complete disarray. Two curvy women are standing in the living room, a big head exposed with white flowers, hastily putting on underwear. But the police looked closely. Isn't one of them the deceased Song Rentu's wife, Jaikan Liang? Just 2 days ago, she was crying out to find the murderer and avenge Song Rentu. How did it end up here now? The couple enjoys a carefree life in the countryside. The police officers present were all puzzled. We can only take the three of them away first. At the same time, a search was conducted at Lai Zhongping's residence. At Lai Zhongping's residence, the police discovered an extra-large suitcase. It was filled with Dolly King Kong balls, Shen Yu and other medicines. There are various uniforms and some Du Daiju equipment. This made the veteran police officer of the peninsula exclaim, "This young man really knows how to have fun." But the seasoned officer never expected that the real game was yet to come. The forensic expert extracted a large amount of blood in the bathroom, and the masters of this blood, it is the deceased Song Rentu. Faced with ironclad evidence, Jai Kungliang and Gong Ren both agreed without regret. It turns out Jai Kungliang and Lai Zhongping's wife Shi Zhengxiang. They studied abroad together in their early years. Two people who love to play equally. The thoughts are very open and influenced by foreign ideas. Changing boyfriends is practically a daily routine. And I often test your boyfriend. You can try my boyfriend again. Occasionally, everyone should come together to be happy. Thus, Jai Kungliang and Shi Zhengxiang spent 3 happy years abroad. After graduation, my family insists that I must return to the country for arranged marriage. Jai Kungliang had no choice but to give up on her many boyfriends abroad. Returning home is a shocking sight. Met the wealthy yet honest Song Rentu. Song Rentu met with Jai Kungliang. He was also enchanted by his beauty. The two quickly fell in love and got married. 2 years after getting married, Jai Kungliang introduced her husband to Lai Zhongping and his wife. 4 people became good friends. That day, the 4 of them gathered at Lai Zhongping's house as usual, drank a lot of alcohol. Jai Kungliang and Lai Zhongping couple took the medication in front of Song Ren, looking at his usually docile wife, who is as gentle as a sheep. Now it's so indulgent. Unexpectedly danced a striptease with Lai Zhongping. Song Rentu could hardly believe his own acting skills. He planned to leave with his dazed wife, but who would have thought that Lai Zhongping would actually pull out a pill, tell Song Rentu, "Let's eat it, and then the four of us can play mahjong together." Song Rentu was instantly stunned, but looking at the similarly curvy Shi Zhenxiang, Song Ren's head also hesitated. "This is Jai Kengliang coming over," whispered to Song Rentu. "Don't be so nervous. We used to play like this all the time. You try it once, I guarantee you'll succeed. I will introduce you to more people's wives later." Song Ren immediately heard. "I originally thought today was my first time getting married. I never expected that my wife had already done it countless times. The green hat on one's own head can support a long strand of yarn. Who can endure this?" Song Ren pushed away his dazed wife and shouted angrily, "What's the difference between you and those beasts?" This completely infuriated Lai Zhongping. He casually picked up a wine bottle from the beads. He fiercely smashed down on Song Ren's head. Song Rentu fell to the ground. The three people did not lose any blood. Instead, it became even more exciting. As long as there is still breath in Song Ren's body, an exciting game of Du Dai Zhu has begun. 4 hours later, Song Ren too died from excessive blood loss. Jai Kengliang and Shi Zhenxiang finally defeated Lai Zhongping, but Zhongping was unconvinced, looking at the already cold Song Ren's head, thinking about what to eat for nourishment, curiously gnawing at the corpse of Song Ren's genitals. Then the body parts were separated and discarded. Ordered Jai Kengliang to report her husband missing. After resolving all of this, the three of them played landlord at Zhongping's house for 3 hours. Finally, the police, under Lai Zhongping's identification, a severed head of Song Ren was found discarded in a certain park. Song Ren never expected until his death. The shy and gentle wife in front of me. It turns out to be such a free-spirited and unrestrained love for freedom. In the end, they'd even delivered a head. All right, this story ends here. Like and follow us. See you next time. Please like, subscribe, share, and support Mingjing and Diandian programs. Lai Zhongping also called his friend Shi Zhenxiang over. 3 people lived a life without laughter or excitement here. Good times don't last long. Song Rentu discovered Lai Zhongping and Shi Zhenxiang often take advantage of my absence from home, secretly having a gathering in the room. Song Rentu discovered this matter. Once eavesdropped on the voices inside. It's okay if you don't listen. After eavesdropping, Song Ren was even more furious. Directly drove Shi Zhenxiang out. After Shi Zhenxiang left, Lai Zhongping asked without hesitation, "Often talks with Song Rentu. I saw a female ghost in the middle of the night. She wore a white dress, teeth like steel blades. Often appears when Lai Zhongping is home alone, just standing at the head of the bed, chatting with Lai Zhongping. Song Rentu felt it was strange. When I am at home alone, I've never seen a female ghost at all. I didn't take this matter to heart. But the unexpected still happened. On this day, Song Ren too returned home late at night. When I arrived at the bottom of my building, I saw a group of people gathered together. What are you making such a fuss about?" Song Rentu, who loves watching excavators, has become interested. He dove into the crowd to see the excitement. Unexpectedly, I saw Lai Zhongping's mangled body. Lai Zhongping's eyeball even fell out of the eye socket. Brain matter scattered and mixed with the blood on the ground. Listening to what the people around are saying. After hearing several screams coming from Lai Zhongping's house in the middle of the night, then there was a loud bang. He jumped out of his home, just landed. Someone also saw his face, which was smashed to bits. seeing a trace of a strange smile. All of this left Song Ren completely baffled. In the end, the police solved the case by committing suicide. After Lai Zhongping's death, Song Ren too moved away from here. But the surrounding residents feared this room even more. The encounters with female ghosts are becoming more frequent. You can still hear that room in the middle of the night. The sound of cheerful laughter arrived. Finally, the residents could no longer bear the disturbance. So a few brave ones were organized, planning to go to Lai Zhongping's house to find out the truth. But when he reached his doorstep, he found that the seal that the police had put on earlier had already been broken. The front door of Lai Zhongping's house was wide open and not closed at all, and there was a strong stench coming from the house. A few people are in the room when something goes wrong, so they called the police. As soon as the police entered the room, a strong, damp odor filled the air. It was also discovered on the double bed at Lai Zhongping's house. A woman is lying down. The lady is wearing a white dress, wrapped in layer upon layer of white mosquito sticks, a living example of a broken servant. It seems they have been dead for over a week. The entire body has begun to swell and decay. A stream of damp water surged from the white mosquito stick. Faintly, one can still see. There are a large number of maggots nearby. After the police investigation, the lady once lived here. It smells so good. Song Ren, too, who had long since fled to Yunnan, became a key suspect. Finally, the police at the China-Myanmar border captured the Song person. During the interrogation, the Song people's heads explained the murders in the haunted house. After Lai Zhongping got divorced, they often secretly consumed white powder together with shizhengsang. After being discovered by the Song people, shizhengsang has seemingly moved away from here, no longer in contact with Lai Zhongping. Two people often take advantage of Song Ren's absence at home, secretly gathering to consume white powder, and the so-called female ghost. It was about 2 hours after Lai Zhongping had consumed the milk powder. The illusion seen. The night Lai Zhongping committed suicide. It's because of the gathering with Shi Zhengsang. She hallucinated and saw a female ghost chasing her. A moment of misstep led to falling from the building. Upon learning the truth, Song Ren was momentarily furious. Just use the white one at home. The article suffocated Shi Zhengsang. Then throw her body here. I want to escape to Myanmar. But in the end, he was still captured by the police. Accepted the punishment of the law. If you are eating the delicious meat bun, then you must be careful, because the filling inside might be made of human meat. Beijing, Yunnan, and Zhejiang have all experienced this before. The shocking human meat bun incident is about today, added a touch of the supernatural. Lai Zhongping recently discovered a fragrant meat bun shop. He has been eating for 4 consecutive days. Every day at the end of work, he would think of those warm and fragrant meat buns, especially stained with chili oil and vinegar. When I took a bite, the fatty oil in the meat bun splattered out. The meat filling with a hint of vinegar is even fresher and more delicate. That taste is incredibly fragrant. Lai Zhongping ate 3 meat buns in one go. Still feel unsatisfied. Stuffed 2 more into his mouth. As I was savoring the taste of the meat bun, suddenly something cut my teeth. He spat out the things and took a look. That thing is square and rectangular. There are still some old clothes in the gap. Isn't that just a human toenail? When recognizing the fingernail, Lai Zhongping is not doing well at all. Guests at another table. A toenail was found in the steamed bun. Everyone feels waves of nausea. Lai Zhongping was momentarily furious. Niu Song went straight to the police station. After forensic examination, The fingernail found in the Beazi indeed belongs to a human, but the shop owner refused to admit it, making crab with human flesh. This was discovered locally. It caused a huge uproar, because the buns from that shop are extremely delicious. Many locals are lining up to buy, but no one expected delicious meat bun. It's actually made of human flesh. Later, the police discovered through their investigation. Song Ren, the vendor at the Beazi shop, has great suspicion. This person, upon seeing the police, not only do they refuse to cooperate with the investigation, still want to wield a knife to slash at others. Fortunately, the investigating officer was battle-hardened. We won't let this madman succeed. Later, during the interrogation of Song Rentu, he also had an extremely arrogant attitude. They further claimed that the police would not find any clues. The truth is as he said, after the police searched his residence thoroughly. No strong evidence was found either, just when everyone was at a loss. The old lady next door to Song Rentu suddenly came out. A strange thing happened. This old lady is Song Rentu's neighbor. You can see it every now and then. She brought home various homeless people and beggars. At first, the old lady thought that, although Song Rentu looks fierce and intimidating, but kind-hearted people still know about the class of the poor. But gradually she discovered, after these people entered her home, it seems they haven't come out again. Even one day in the middle of the night, the old lady noticed that the backyard of the Song Rentu family was particularly noisy. She looked through the window. A group of people gathered in the corner of the backyard. That group of people gradually disappeared by dawn. The police followed this lead. Arriving at Song Rentu's backyard, opened for a moment. A strong scent of floating vehicles approached. Inside are a large number of unprocessed human limbs. The human heads were neatly placed on the rack by the horses. Even the soil in the cellar was dyed red with blood. In the face of the irrefutable evidence collected by the police, Song Rentu ultimately admitted, saving money to buy a pig. Only then would one think of luring homeless people and beggars to their home to kill them, because these people usually have no family. Even if I suddenly disappear, no one would call the police to trouble him. Finally, Song Ran was also executed by shooting for his crimes. And that steamed bun shop, I heard they reopened later. The buns no longer have their special flavor from before. Very few people visit anymore. Lindsay couldn't stand the two-finger fire anymore, under the warm greetings of neighbor Old Wang. Finally, it's over. Old Wang, the big mouth, accidentally discovered there is a piece of paper on Lindsay's bottom. The next day, the villagers were all on edge. Zongping hurried home after receiving the news. The wife directly laid it all out, proudly praising neighbor Old Wang's incredible fighting spirit. What is going on? Last year, Lai Zhongping from our village stepped in dog poop. He actually married the village beauty lion from the neighboring village. This makes a single man extremely envious. A lion is known as the beauty within 100 miles. The matchmaker visiting her family for the proposal almost wore the threshold down. But she didn't know what medicine she had taken wrong, crying and shouting for Lai Zhongping to give compensation. I don't know what exceptional qualities Lai Zhongping possesses. Only a lion knows this, I'm afraid. After the couple got married, no one is seen all day long. Even the major event of autumn harvest in the village, Lai Zhongping has only shown his face twice. Every time I see her, she always looks like she's barely alive, feet firm and steady. The whole person looks very lethargic. Lai Zhongping before the wedding, although not the most handsome young man, but he is also very strong. How did we end up like this just 1 month after getting married? It was just the second month of marriage. I heard the old people in the village say, Lai Zongping woke up before dawn that morning. I left the village in the dark, holding my luggage. It is said that the household expenses are too high. Weakness does not pay off. Lai Zongping had no way out. Can only go to the city to work. But that's not how I see it. After Lai Zongping left, a lion takes care of the elderly at home by herself. The child left by my older brother and sister-in-law. Besides these, she also has to go out to work in the field often. It's really hard to deal with a person. This could let a lion's neighbor. Lao Wang found an opportunity. Old Wang's wife also works away from home. Years of not returning home. When we single men usually drink together, Lao Wang often talked about a lion. Lai Zongping's departure made Old Wang very happy. I go to help the lion with work every few days. In this way, the two people supported each other, albeit sporadically. Time has passed. Lai Zongping doesn't often come home to see a lion. Old Wang has been scheming, thinking that a lion is good. The relationship between the two people underwent a qualitative change. One day, both of them got drunk. Old Wang finally got his wish to see Fangzi. A lion has also concluded. Two-finger life. But he wasn't sneaky like someone who had an affair, but often discusses his story with a lion with us. This has made us all very envious. Soon, the news spread throughout the village. Messages between two people. This message eventually reached the ears of Lai Zongping's father. Lai Zongping's father listened to this. At first, I didn't believe it either. But later, the rumors became even more outrageous. Even the incident of his daughter-in-law having a bump on her bottom is known by everyone. At this moment, old man Lai couldn't sit still. He doesn't know anything else. But the position and size of this one, that is truly said to the letter. Lai Leihan hurriedly made a phone call, called Lai Zongping back home. Lai Zongping began to question a lion after he returned. What is going on here? But who would have thought that a lion actually did not deny it? Still smiling and said, Lao Wang is much more impressive than you. We have been together every day for several months. He didn't exaggerate. This made Lai Zongping extremely angry. He raised his hand and slapped a lion. Then they turned and left. After Lai Zongping left, Lao Wan hurriedly climbed over the wall to a lion's house. A lion saw her old lover. It's quite unfair. Isn't it just an opportunity to have someone else serve me while he's away? If you can't do it, don't stop others from trying. Crying while pointing at Lao Wang said, Let's not hesitate and just go for it. Just make Lai Zongping disappear. Coincidentally, when a lion said this, Lai Zongping just returned and heard it. Who can stand this? My wife not only cheated on me, yet he still wants to get rid of himself. Let others take their place. Lai Zongping took the life of old Wang, pounced directly over. A lion started punching and kicking. Lao Wang swiftly picked up the axe from the ground. It struck directly on Lai Zongping's nape. This blow knocked him straight to the ground. There was no more sound. This scared the pair of scheming women. In the end, it was a lion who came up with the idea. Lift Lai Zongping onto the bed. Take out the prepared herbal pants. It was poured into Lai Zongping's mouth. Again instructed Lao Wang to spread rumors in the village tomorrow. As long as I see Lai Zongping's face, will rot and die in a long stretch. Two people staged the scene to look like a painting. The scene of the husband poisoning himself after an argument. But this trick is full of flaws. The next day, a lion followed the plan, pretending to discover Lai Zongping's poisoned body. Then stop old Lai from closely examining Lai Zongping's face. But old Lai looked at Ah Lion's seemingly sad expression, crying out to the heavens and lamenting on the ground. But I just can't seem to shed any tears. But deep down it feels different. So, taking advantage of a lion's inattention, he quietly approached the coffin, pushed open the coffin lid. This is clearly already. Lai Zhongping had a palm-sized bruise on his face. There is a wound on the head as big as a bowl. Lai Leihan is convinced that his son did not commit suicide by poisoning. So I secretly called the police. After the police arrived at the scene, a lion knew her secret had been exposed. They also took the initiative to confess the details of the crime. This concludes the story for this episode. See you next time. The man vented his anger on the beast fish. A woman was beaten with stockings in a small grove for 4 hours. 18-year-old Lai Zhongbing, squatting on the street, for no other reason, just to see the street. Variety of beautiful women in stockings. But he had no desires in his heart. Some just have the impulse to kill them. It all started when Lai Zhongping was young. Due to the unexpected early death of my parents, Lai Zhongping has no other relatives. So he was adopted by his uncle. But Lai Zhongping's uncle, he is just a freeloader, only knows how to drink at home and beat his wife. Shenzhen struck out, but found no place to escape. Set their sights on the young Lai Zhongping, often used as a punching bag. Every time I hit Lai Zhongping, Shenzai also liked to wear black stockings and high heels. All this left a deep impression on Lai Zhongping, especially Shenzi's 2 lines. Led in black stockings. When he grew up, Lai Zhongping left home, going out to work alone, looking at the various beautiful stockings on the street. Once again, there was no real-time guidance from Shenzai. Lai Zhongping finally found it hard to suppress his desires. He knew he had to have a line today, a pair of black stockings that belonged to me. The timid Lai Zhongping didn't dare to go to the store, so he arrived at a secluded riverside, planning to try my luck. Coincidentally, Lai Zhongping was in the small grove. After squatting for a short while, Shi Zhengxiang returns home after work. Just happened to be riding a bike in stockings. Lai Zhongping, who has waited so long, is extremely excited. As Shi Zhengxiang was about to walk away, Lai Zhongping quickly called out to Shi Zhengxiang. Shyly and introverted, he said to her, "I want you to wear the original black stockings." Shi Zhengxiang immediately yelled that Lai Zhongping is a pervert. He kicked him several times. This completely angered Lai Zhongping. He recalled Shenzai wearing black stockings, her esteemed teachings. In an instant, anger surged. Shi Zhengxiang was pushed to the ground, pounced on him. Shi Zhengxiang resisted, cursing Lai Zhongping incessantly. Lai Zhongping didn't care about any of this at all. Just focus on breaking free. Shi Zhengxiang's original flavor stockings. After getting the stockings, Lai Zhongping looked utterly enchanted. He excitedly put the stockings over his head, embroidering the lingering scent on the stockings with effort, looking at Shi Zhengxiang with ill intentions. Then Lai Zhongping strangled him to death with stockings. Seeing Shi Zhengxiang has lost her breath, Lai Zhongping was both scared and excited. He didn't run. Instead, they grotesquely hung Shi Zhengxiang's corpse on the book. Once again, he tore off all his clothes, whipping at Shi Zhengxiang's natural body. While fighting, they also shouted provocatively, "Come on, hit me! Come hit me!" He went crazy, trying every possible way. The body of Zhu Shi is truly fragrant. Looking at the lifeless body that offered no resistance, Lai Zhongping felt immense pleasure. This excited him more than watching a small website 10,000 times. In the end, Lai Zhongping forcefully with Shi Zhengxiang's corpse. played poker for a minute. Satisfied, he put on his pants and left. Before leaving, I still remembered to take the stockings as a trophy. From that moment on, Lai Zongping fell in love with this thrill. Start being frequently poisoned. And a woman in black stockings made her move. From 80 to 18. Lai Zongping won't let it go. In just 6 short years, Lai Zongping traveled to many places, killed over 13 people. When Lai Zongping committed his crime again, the police, who had been lying in wait, successfully captured them. The Black Stockings murder case has been officially solved. Lai Zongping was drugged and brutally taken advantage of by a man. When I woke up, I found someone standing in front of me. 3 malicious men. When he left, I have been tormented all night, covered in wounds. Chrysanthemum fireworks bloom brightly. After returning to the residence, Lai Zongping recalls the various misfortunes he has faced in his life. The more I think about it, the more ruthless I become. Lai Zongping grew up in a poor family. His mother suffers from a mental illness. She often beat him up without warning. Lai Zongping's father. He spends the whole day numbing himself with alcohol. Growing up in such an environment, Lai Zongping's rationality makes him very disdainful of women. It was the year he turned 15. On a snowy day, Lai Zongping was dawdling home on the street. A drunk man staggered towards me. The man thought Lai Zongping looked very fair and delicate, just intentionally bumped into him. Then they took the opportunity to strike up a conversation. Lai Zongping saw the man's leering expression. Nature also knows he has ulterior motives. But compared to these, he is even less willing to return to that terrifying home. Then Lai Zongping followed the man to a small restaurant to eat. The man took advantage of the alcohol buzz, gave a lot of alcohol to young Lai Zongping. Then, taking advantage of Lai Zongping's hazy consciousness, he took him to a desolate park. That's it. Young Lai Zongping was swayed by a man's sweet words. Had a delightful evening, although Lai Zongping held resentment towards this matter afterward. But thinking of what happened that night, I felt an inexplicable thrill in my heart. After that night, Lai Zongping never saw that man again. When I grew up, Lai Zongping left home alone to pursue his studies. Often drank alcohol with classmates during that time, jokingly saying he is gay. In a short period of time, Lai Zongping encountered some troubling matters. So he walked alone into a bar. Here, he met a young man named Song Rantu. The two people were having a great conversation. Lai Zongping followed Song Ran after drinking. After a night of enjoyable exercise, Lai Zongping shyly lay in Song Rantu's embrace and confirmed their romantic relationship. Song Rantu's financial situation is quite good. It not only solved Lai Zongping's daily expenses, and also gave him a warmth never felt in these years. Good times don't last long. After dating for a few months, Song Rantu actually took advantage of Lai Zongping being drunk, called upon oneself. All of this made Lai Zongping feel humiliated and wronged. But in order to win back Song Rantu's heart, Lai Zongping still chooses to continue the journey with the 3 of them. After a period of traveling together with 3 people, still chose to leave. Feeling troubled after leaving, he went to the bar alone to drown his sorrows. During another drunken night, 4 malicious men set their sights on Lai Zongping. They took advantage of Lai Zongping's inattention, put drugs in his drink. Then they took him, whose consciousness was hazy, back to their place. When Lai Zongping woke up again, realized I had been tied up, tightly bound and tied to the bead. Standing in front of him, it was the one at the bar. Those 3 men, after a night of torment, Lai Zhongbing thought more and more fiercely, chose revenge. He began to search endlessly in bars and internet cafes, finally obtained the information about those four people, and established contact with them through the internet. Then take them out separately, and choose when they are most relaxed. Take revenge. The hatred in Lai Zhangping's heart blinded his eyes. Every time I kill, Lai Zhangping would always remember everything that happened that night. He recalled the violation by those few people. Lai Zhangping stabbed them more than 30 times with a knife, still choose to cut off their lower parts. Especially that night, it weighed the most, hit him the hardest. While he was relaxed, Lai Zhangping stabbed more than 100 times. Isn't that enough to vent? After cutting off that person's lower body, Lai Zhangping seized the moment before he drew his last breath. Again, the knife was pointed at the man's lower body, stabbed more than 100 times, until that man's lower body became a bloody mess. He also died from excessive blood loss. Lai Zhangping finally revealed a satisfied smile. April 2004. Lai Zhangping was sentenced to death. During the trial, he feels relaxed. It felt like a kind of liberation. 5 women compete for a man. They actually turned on each other in the cellar. What kind of charm does this man possess? Make them so crazy? Lai Zhangping is an ordinary office worker. At home, there is a wife and a son who is less than a month old. He also has a stable job. I just need to work the night shift every day. His wife was also very distressed for him. One could say they are a winner in life. What Lai Zhangping's wife never expected was, Lai Zhangping's night shift is truly extraordinary. Every night he rushes to his meticulously crafted underground space, living a blissful life with wives and concubines. What charm does Lai Zhangping actually have? Can make these beautiful women willingly talk afterwards. This brings us to Shi Zhengxiang, who was involved in the flesh trade. That night, Shi Zhengxiang received a guest. 2 people drank quite a bit at the club. Shi Zhengxiang noticed that this man was very generous with his money. Even the lion offered himself a very high price. I didn't expect that the man agreed so readily, and Shi Zhengxiang to spend the night at her own home. The 2 of them flirted and teased each other along the way, finally arrived at the so-called home of the man. When she got here, Shi Zhengxiang was stunned. She didn't expect a generous person. Surprisingly, living in a dark basement. And there isn't even a bed in the room. But for money, Shi Zhengxiang still decided to continue with this business. Little did I know, after that man closed the door, showed another side of themselves. She ominously pushed aside a pile of clutter in the room, reveal an iron gate. Turning to Shi Zhengxiang, he commanded, "Hurry down. There is a very large bed down below." But even if Shi Zhengxiang is foolish and wants to make money, I also know that this man is not right. She hurriedly tried to open the basement door to run outside, but still was a step too late. The man took out a fruit knife from behind, set on Shi Zhengxiang's neck, threatened her to get down immediately. Otherwise, it would be a dead end. Shi Zhengxiang did not dare to resist. I could only obediently climb down the ladder. After going down, Shi Zhengxiang was completely stunned. Under this cellar, there is actually a completely handmade secret passage. They climbed over 3 or 4 iron gates like this. Shi Zhengxiang finally arrived at the man's underground harem. There's actually a girl in here. The girl sat blankly on a mattress. No intention to escape at all. The man dined and dashed right here, and imprisoned Shi Zhengxiang. This man is Lai Zhangping. And this underground world, it's a place like Lai Zhangping's wildness. Lai Zhangping comes here every night to spend the night. At the beginning, This so-called harem had only 2 women, but later more women, trapped here by Lai Zongping. It also has a sense of a harem with thousands at home, and the imprisoned woman showed no signs of obedience. Or maybe they want to run away. It would lead to a beating from Lai Zongping. Lai Zongping only gives them very little food at each meal. This made the already slender women even weaker. Even if I want to escape, there was no strength to climb the winding path. Slowly, these girls submitted to him. Start to do everything possible to please Lai Zongping, even to gain a little benefit from him. Just start fighting. Jealousy and rivalry. There was even a girl, unexpectedly, just to sleep next to Lai Zongping at night. Strangled the other girl with the best figure to death. Lai Zongping saw all this but did not intervene. But in the end, he pulled out a tool made of condensed iron. He cruelly killed the girl who was jealous over him. 2 lives ended instantly in the cramped cellar. This made Shi Zhengxiang and the other 2 girls completely succumbed to Lai Zongping's tyranny. But over time, Lai Zongping's wife still grew suspicious. Why does my husband say he is going to work the night shift? Not sticking to home. But in the end, they often still ask themselves for money, and looking at Lai Zongping's deep dark circles under his eyes, and the body that has become ethereal. All of this made him very suspicious. Lai Zongping also knew that if this continued, his wife would eventually find out. So he thought of a way to make money by wrapping beautiful clothes at home, in this dim basement. The girls not only want Lai Zongping to eat the king's vegetables every night, still need to fiddle with their national system in front of the computer, making money for Lai Zongping. Slowly, Lai Zongping's courage grew bolder. They even started taking the girls out to sell meat to make money. Shi Zhengxiang knew that the opportunity she had been waiting for had finally arrived. She desperately tried to please Lai Zongping, finally got the chance to go out and sell meat, and while the client was satisfied and putting on his pants, jumped out of the window to escape the leggings, ran to the police station to report the case. The police, after listening to Shi Zhengxiang's description, it was also greatly shocking. After all, this kind of thing is something you've only seen in movies. When the police found the entrance to the cellar in the basement, he completely believed Shi Zhengxiang's words. Quickly capture Lai Zongping and bring him to justice. Have you heard of offering a large sum of money to seek a child? I want to find Lai Zongping. I believe most people are on the telephone poles or seen on a billboard. Today, I want to tell you about my friend Lai Zongping, the story of seeking a child at any cost. Lai Zongping, the ever-honest man. He is a true farmer. In this lifetime, I have worked diligently. Even my wife was introduced to me by someone from the village. Little did Lai Zongping expect to reach middle age. Yet the peach blossom moon arrived. He was busy working in the fields that day. I received a friend request during my break. Lai Zongping took a look at the person's profile. She is a slender beauty. The moments are filled with all kinds of selfies. Luxury car photos and scenic photos. Lai Zongping happily accepted the friend request. Through casual conversation, Lai Zongping learned that this beauty is named Jin Lion, lives in Guangzhou. My husband had an accident a few years ago. My health has not been very good. This made Jin Lion very distressed. So I randomly added a man on WeChat. Of course, this lucky one is Lai Zongping. In this way, Lai Zongping met the wealthy lady online, and the 2 of them hit it off more and more as they talked. Lai Zongping even felt that my confidante is Jin Lion. About a month later, an unexpected event happened to Lai Zongping. He is in Jin Lion's circle of friends. I found an ad offering a large reward for a child, and promised to successfully conceive will provide 2.5 million in funds to the South. After seeing this message, Lai Zongping excitedly contacted Jin Lion. How can such good fortune fall to someone else? Jin Lion was initially surprised to receive a call from Lai Zongping. Then, on the other end of the phone, she shyly agreed to Lai Zongping. But he has one requirement. This is the kind of prestigious family they are. If the outside world finds out about this, the impact is very bad. Therefore, Lai Zongping was asked to pay a confidentiality fee of 10,000 yuan. Lai Zongping hesitated for a long time. In the end, I still think this was a good deal. Not only can I have a wonderful encounter with Jin Lion, you can still raise 2.5 million. After all, Lai Zongping, still very confident. Lai Zongping took all of his family's savings, which amounted to 10,000 yuan. Send it to Lai Jinlian. The two agreed to meet at a hotel the next day. Jin Lion wants to have a preliminary interview first. Let's see if Lai Zongping is as strong as he claims to be. Then Lai Zongping received several photos sent by Jin Lion. The content is quite captivating. Lai Zongping couldn't sleep all night due to excitement. The next morning he was impatient. Arrived at the big hotel that Jin Lion mentioned. What could disappoint him is the other party did not check in. Just as he was puzzled, Jin Lion took the initiative to make a call. Jin Lion on the other end of the phone spoke with a choked voice. Unfortunately, say to Lai Zongping, even my mother-in-law is still worried. Lai Zongping is required to pay an additional 50,000 yuan as a deposit. As long as the 50,000 yuan hush money is paid, Jin Lion will head to the hotel to meet Lai Zongping soon, and after the interview, also promised to give Lai Zongping 1 million first. Lai Zongping was completely captivated by the beautiful future painted by Jin Lion. He returned home and started borrowing money from relatives. Finally scraped together 50,000 yuan, transferred to Jin Lion. For this matter, Lai Zongping also had several big fights with his wife. But he had long envisioned a beautiful life with Jin Lion. He couldn't care less about his wife's accusations. As long as Jin Lion gets pregnant with the moon, don't say it's 50,000 yuan. It's just that 500,000 can be taken out easily. Not to mention that Jin Lion promised to be with Lai Zongping. In the end, doesn't all of Jin Lion's money belong to her? With his dreams in his heart, Lai Zongping, sending money to Jin Lion again and again, until I transferred 270,000. Lai Zongping still hasn't gotten close to Feng Zai. He finally realized something was wrong. In the end, the honest Lai Zongping chose to report to the police. The police acted on the clues provided by Lai Zongping. The couple Jin Lion was captured at an inn. Lai Zongping finally met the wealthy lady who seeks a child at any cost. What he never expected was Jin Lion is not at all like the way he portrays her in his circle of friends. In reality, he is just a plump man, just a disheveled middle-aged woman. Lai Zongping not only did not gain anything, even his own money couldn't be recovered. This made him hate the Jinlian couple to the core. Just as the trial was coming to an end, Lai Zongping held the prepared knife, rushed towards the Jin Lion couple. After putting the golden lotus back on her husband, Lai Zongping stabbed Jin Lion 250 times on the spot. A simple scam. Lai Zongping's greed. Lost everything I had. A female white-collar worker was tragically murdered and disposed of in a sewage pit. Is it jealousy from others or just self-inflicted? Song Ren, too, is a cleaner at a foreign trade company. The office workers here dress in bright and stylish outfits every day, dressed very stylishly, although Song Ren, too, is just a cleaning staff. But he really likes the environment here. On this day Songren was supposed to cleaning the company's premises. I found a brand new tea lipstick on the ground. Although Songren too doesn't understand a price of lipstick. You can see the packaging of this lipstick. He shouldn't be cheap. So I temporarily kept it for myself. Planned to return it to the benefactor after finding them. The next day, Songren too was cleaning the hygiene room. Hearing that the most beautiful Shi Zhengxiang in the company is looking for lipstick. Speaking of Shi Zhengxiang, she is truly young and beautiful. In just a few short months at the company, I became the general manager's secretary, usually very proud. I can't stand looking down on others. Song Rentu looked very anxious searching for Shi Zhengxiang. Just kindly handed over the lipstick. As Shi Zhengxiang saw Song Rentu's hand just after he finished taking out the trash, holding that brand new lipstick. I can't believe I said it out loud. What bad luck. I don't want it anymore. After speaking, he looked at me with disdain. Swept around Song Ren's head. Song Rentu looked at Shi Zhengxiang, her face showing displeasure, hastily put on a smile and explained. Don't worry, I won't clean it up. This lipstick isn't broken or dirty. He Shizhen felt surprised hearing Song Rentu say this. Not only did he disregard his goodwill, he deliberately pointed at his nose and said loudly, You spend all day circling the bathroom. Who knows if your hand has touched feces or urine? My body is completely filled with stomach smoke. No matter how much you clean, it still stinks. For a moment, Song Ren didn't know how to respond. The people around them were also watching the two with envy. It seems like everyone is mocking him, despise him. All of this made Song Ren's hatred for Shi Zhengxiang reach its peak. This insult was unbearable for him. He developed the idea of seeking revenge. A few days later, Song Rentu finally got his chance. He took advantage of Shi Zhengxiang working overtime, ambushed on his way home, when no one is around, suddenly jumped out from the shadows, tie up Shi Zhengxiang's fish with a rope, then packed it into his own Porsche, taken to the rural village in the outskirts. I found another secluded little grove, loudly insulting Shi Zhengxiang. Suddenly, she started arguing loudly with him. After a night of torment, Shi Zhengxiang finally met a tragic end under Song Ren's exclusion. After Shi Zhengxiang's death, Song Ren too still felt a sense of unease. He felt that it would end just like this. It's simply to cheat Shi Zhengxiang. The anger in my heart has not yet been resolved. She must feel the humiliation she has endured. Doesn't he find it dirty to touch feces and urine every day? Then throw him into the cesspool. Let him soak in it. Let's see who smells the worst then. Dare to call me dirty again? I want him to die dirtier and more disgusting than anyone else. As soon as Song Ren's head noticed it wasn't yet dawn, secretly threw Shi Zhengxiang into the village's cesspool. Thus, Shi Zhengxiang soaked in the septic tank for a month. Lai Zongping, the farmer from the peach blossom manure pit, was discovered. That early morning, Lai Zongping remembered that the village's septic tank was almost full. So he took a manure scoop and headed to the septic tank. But he dug twice, but found a wig floating inside. At a glance, unexpectedly, Shi Zhengxiang emerged looking completely unrecognizable. Shi Zhengxiang was wooed for more than a month. A foul stench emanated from his entire body. The mouth and nose were also filled with an unknown liquid. Finally, after the police investigation, successfully captured Song Rentu. To this day, there have been many mysterious disappearances in Tonggu. So where did these people actually go? March in Yandu is bustling with activity. The beautiful scenery has attracted many poets and wanderers. But in the dark corners beneath this bustling backdrop, attached are many scholars' insights. The images feature young, beautiful women and children. After these people went missing, no matter how you search, there are no traces. It seems like I've never been to this bustling Yangju at all. For those who walk this path, it has also become a topic of conversation during tea and meals. They all say they were abducted or something similar. But that day a storyteller arrived at the tea house. He saw everyone discussing the missing woman. So I told a story I had heard. A while ago, he heard from a friend at the government office. Caught a monster at the inn. This person is named Lai Zongping. This person is wearing a large straw hat, holding onto 4 or 5 mules at the top of the hill. It seems like a merchant specialized in selling livestock. The person arrived at the inn. Countless reminders and warnings to the waiter. Take good care of these mules. I need to go pick up some goods. I will be back in 2 hours. Remember to tie them together. And my mules are currently taking medicine. Never drink water. Otherwise it could lead to death. That person finished speaking and turned away. After the shopkeeper settled a few mules, I also prepared to greet other guests. But as soon as he turned his face, he met the eyes of one of the mules. Those eyes were filled with tears. The shopkeeper couldn't bear to watch. Such hot weather still doesn't produce drinking water. What illness can lead to death from taking medicine and drinking water? I've never heard of it at all. What illness can be fatal just by drinking water? But if this turns out to be a horse sickness, we can't afford to compensate. So the shopkeeper specifically brought a bucket of water to give these mules some water. The mules drank deeply as soon as they saw the water. Just as Sayo turned to go to work, suddenly a thick plume of white smoke billowed behind him. Amidst the white smoke, the mule's drinking water began to change. The mule unexpectedly transformed into a young and beautiful woman. This scared the shop assistant to death. He thought he had encountered a mule spirit. Can't even worry about knowledge. He crawled and rolled to find the shopkeeper. The shopkeeper is indeed someone who has experienced insomnia. He invited the women into the house. Yu Ping worked hard to persuade everyone. Only then did I find out. It turns out these few women, they are all missing persons from the city. They were lured by the demon Lai Zhangping with sweet cakes. Lost strength after eating. Could only let Lai Zhangping manipulate. He cast his enchantment on them again. Then it will take on the appearance of Rome, led by him, walking down the street with swagger. It's all thanks to the shop assistant. Kind-heartedness for their drinking water. Just turned back into a human form, understanding the true essence of the matter. The shopkeeper hurriedly called the waiter to report to the authorities. Several officials lay in ambush at the essential path back to the inn, waiting for Lai Zhangping to return. A moment later, a person wearing a straw hat approached from a distance. That person was leading several sheep. This person is Lai Zhangping, the one who transformed the girl into a Luozi. Several officers are looking for an opportunity. After he entered the house, Wen was poisoned to death, said he was just an ordinary businessman. But after he led a few sheep back to drink water, Lai Zhangping started to panic. Sure enough, those few sheep turned into children after drinking water. The official realized that this person could indeed use sorcery to turn people into livestock. He was subjected to torture. I want him to reveal the person behind it, and how to cast spells. I didn't expect Lai Zhangping to be so stubborn, refusing to say who is behind all of this. In the end, he couldn't survive and was beaten to death. As for how the spells are cast, no one will ever know. The man's corpse was thrown into the mass grave overnight. It is said that you can go see the corpse again the next day. The corpse of that person has already disappeared. A man seeks to satisfy his desires. Homemade guns randomly killing people. Proclaiming boldly when caught, "I want to kill 500 people to achieve my small goal." Lai Zongping diligently completed his KPI. In just a month, 5 or 6 innocent civilians were shot dead. All of this is just to satisfy his twisted lifespan. Lai Zongping grew up with a life of indulgence, just because his father ran a small workshop. Until that turmoil, Lai Zongping's father was labeled a capitalist roader. Released from prison, Lai Zongping and several younger siblings. Nature also suffers through the white nights, classified as one of the 5 black categories. Until years later, my father became ordinary. The family finally started to improve. Good times don't last long. Lai Zongping's father is too honest, framed by some people and carrying the black stick. In less than 2 years, a group of children was left orphaned. Lai Zongping found the person in charge of the factory, wants to take his father's position. But that person in charge is also afraid of the weak and bold with the strong. He declined, saying he was too young, as long as Lai Zongping is working odd jobs in the factory. Lai Zongping entered the printing factory. The people inside often bullied him. He has to do all the dirty and tiring work. All of this filled Lai Zongping with hatred. He hates those who bully him. The seeds of revenge began to sprout in Lai Zongping's heart. In an instant, he heard a few coworkers discussing method to make Tuzu fire scallions. He kept the desire for revenge in his heart, collecting interviews after work and returning home. After continuous attempts and experiments, Lai Zongping finally created a fire onion. When that gun was in his hand, Lai Zongping felt, "I am no longer that person," the type of adult that allows themselves to be bullied. He developed the idea of killing. Lai Zongping lay in wait on the road from the printing factory after work, waiting for the person who usually loves to bully him to finish work. Lai Zongping emerged from the shadows, with a gun pressed against the back of the head of the person being sent to their death. At this moment, he felt like the embodiment of justice. He wants to punish these villains. So he pulled the trigger without hesitation. The fire onion struck down with power at a short distance. The entire face of the person being sent has a big hole punched in it. The scene was horrific beyond description. After killing the messenger, Lai Zongping felt that using the fire scallions was inconvenient. Reloading the bullets is too slow. If one thinks about killing 3 people, there is a risk of being counter-killed during reloading. So he set his sights on a rubber factory. The gun in the security room is tightly gripped. Lai Zongping lied, claiming he was going to take a shower. Then he suddenly charged into the security room with a knife. With a swift motion of the knife, the 3-meter task was completed. Lai Zongping acted decisively, fatal slash, in order to satisfy their own wounds. Lai Zongping specifically used a knife, chopped off most of the heads of 2 people. After doing all this, Lai Zongping began to kill indiscriminately. He kills without any pattern, walking down the street, feeling annoyed by everyone. Just follow him to a deserted place and cruelly harm him. Wang was still not satisfied like this. He began to gather his accomplices, joining the assassination organization. They must all be heartless, hate-filled villains. At the same time, he also has a rule. To join his organization, one must have a blood oath. After a person kills at least 3 people, only then are you qualified to join, with a large number of weapons and subordinates. Lai Zongping became even more insane. His purpose began to shift from mere killing to acquire wealth while committing slaughter. His gang began to have a meticulously planned route for robbery. Lai Zongping, after each robbery, they all liked to tie the victim's hands behind their back, just like when his own father was criticized, then deliberately gave the victim a chance to escape, then personally kill them. Every time he kills, Lai Zhongping enjoys shooting the victim in the head. It felt like a scene where blood flowed like arrows. To satisfy the desires within his heart, all of this satisfied the twisted inner self within him. In just 8 short years, Lai Zhongping and his gang were involved in 36 criminal cases. The police conducted multiple investigations. Finally, in a remote rented place, captured the criminal gang led by Lai Zhongping. In the end, during the interrogation process, Lai Zhongping once said a chilling remark. He said that if he didn't have Bijuang, you must achieve your own goals. Kill 500 people. In order to survive, Danzi surprisingly became a flesh and blood creature. Lai Zhongping grew up in a family filled with murderers. The villagers say his mother has a mental illness. Once insulted and killed a wine seller while drunk. Lai Zhongping's brother also had some conflicts. Killed a vegetable seller with a plastic bag. Lai Zhongping showed his true nature as a killer from a young age. He once attended middle school, specifically invited a classmate to come home to play, then tie it up with a rope. He stripped him of his clothes and threw them on the bed. This isn't over yet. Lai Zhongping is holding a knife again. He hacked wildly at his classmate's head. Fortunately, it was discovered in time. It didn't lead to a disaster after all. Lai Zhongping was still underage. There was no punishment received. This experience made Lai Zhongping even more addicted to the thrill of killing. Struggling to find opportunities, Lai Zhongping grew up, leaving the village to work at the factory tightening screws. Here he made a simple friend. This time he learned from the lessons of his youth, deliberately arranged to go out with friends at night. And this unfortunate friend, he never appeared again after going out with him, until more than 10 days later. A homeless man went to relieve himself in the bridge tunnel. Only then did I discover his decayed and foul-smelling corpse. This time, Lai Zhongping wasn't so lucky. He was sentenced to a death reprieve after being captured by the police. However, Lai Zhongping has shown good behavior in prison, often flattered the prison guards. After several reductions in sentence, Lai Zhongping was released. He returned to the village he once knew. At first, the villagers looked down on him. But as time goes on, Lai Zhongping always acted as if he had no regrets. The people around him gradually lowered their guard. I believe he has rehabilitated well in prison. He often plays chess with him. But those familiar with Lai Zhongping know this person is not as kind as they seem on the surface. He often takes advantage of people's inattention, exhibiting a chilling gaze. Moreover, it is strange that Lai Zhongping does not go out to work. Yet every meal has meat to eat. He even occasionally goes out to sell ostrich meat. Even the pigs in his family are raised on meat. No one knows where his meat comes from, although the villagers were curious. But he couldn't resist the low prices he offered. The meat is very fresh. Everyone who has bought it says that the ostrich meat is very delicious. People from 10 miles and 8 villages like to come here to buy meat. But no one expected. The so-called ostrich meat is actually human meat. June 2012, the wailing siren broke the tranquility of the village. Such a grand spectacle. The villagers had never seen this in their lifetime. Everyone is following the police car to see the person. Dozens of police rushed into Lai Zhongping's home. Lai Zhongping was taken away in a police car. Meanwhile, the police are also at Lai Zhongping's home, discovered many pieces of cured meat drying in the sun. I also found 3 large plastic barrels by the wall. The smell of that barrel is simply unforgettable. Inside were the bodies of many people immersed. There is a strong sense of a mountain of corpses and a sea of blood. What's even scarier is, even the pigpen at Lai Zongping's house was filled with human bones. It's clear that these pigs usually eat a lot. How many people has Lai Zongping eaten over the years since returning home? Even he himself couldn't remember clearly. The police were sorting through the victims' belongings. It only matched 17 victim profiles. The rest cannot be verified. As for Lai Zhongping's method of killing, that makes it even easier. Relying on the harmless appearance of others, passers-by usually think that he is the old man staring blankly at the wall. Until encountering a lone passer-by, he would quietly follow behind, then casually picked up a weapon like a turning tool, inflict cruel harm on it. In the end, Lai Zhongping was sentenced to death. He eats human flesh, although not confirmed by the police. People from the nearby village, but everyone knows this is true. A perverted man specifically targets couples in love, and after the execution there must still be on-site monitoring to satisfy the victim's abuse. Many couples enjoy going to secluded places at night, by the small forest, by the river. It's a place they all like to go. There are few people in these places. The most suitable time for them to romance. Sending someone's head and the needle test box are no exceptions. That night the two of them met by the river, in the midst of sweet affection, but did not know, in the small woods behind them, someone is secretly observing their every move. This person is Lai Zhongping. Lai Zhongping hid behind the tree, watched secretly for a long time, completely entranced. 2 minutes later, Lai Zhongping suddenly shivered. His gaze became as tranquil as that of an old monk. Then he pulled out a shiny sharp knife from behind, taking advantage of sending someone off and testing the needle box, still in the midst of an inseparable and deeply sentimental moment. Suddenly he lunged forward. A knife plunged into the chest of the messenger, struggled for a moment before giving up. Just received a boxed meal on the spot. Then Lai Zhongping smiled slyly at the testing box. Go accompany your relative's boyfriend. Then, with the same motion, a knife struck the chest of the fitting box. Lai Zhongping watched the body struggling in the test needle box. Unexpectedly, a different feeling arose. He first dragged the test needle box to the bushes by the roadside. It was dragged to a golden light again. Then Lai Zhongping just looked at the needle testing box. Died from excessive blood loss. After his death, Lai Zhongping then revealed his true perverse nature. He shouted loudly while it was still warm, then forcibly conducted a 1-minute nucleic acid test with the testing box. After thoroughly satisfying one's desires, Lai Zhongping pulled up his pants and left the scene. In the following 2 days, multiple similar cases have occurred in various places in Shenyang. There are as many as 11 victims. This includes 5 women and 6 men, and they are all couples. Each victim was killed with a single stab. 3 female victims were violated after their deaths. In a moment, couples in Shenyang are too afraid to go outside. Lai Zhongping was also humorously referred to as the couple's psychopath killer. But there are those thrill-seeking couples who aren't afraid of danger to commit a crime against the wind. September 19. By the small river in the park, a couple was murdered. Unlike before, this time the female victim's fatal wound was not in her chest, but because the tendons in the hands and feet were severed, died from excessive blood loss. In the following 3 years, Lai Zhongping did not commit the crime. The police also had no further restrictions, and at a loss for what to do until 2003. Lai Zhongping could no longer suppress the desires within him. He eagerly wanted to have a chance encounter with a warm lady. After a series of stakeouts, finally locked onto the newlywed Wang Mu couple. After the couple got married, they would stay up until the early morning every night. Lai Zhongping heard the noise from inside the room. My heart was filled with excitement. After squatting for 4 hours, he took advantage of the couple being tired and fast asleep. Lai Zhongping lewdly pulled out a sharp knife. First, he killed the wife of Wan Mu. He stabbed twice again into the chest of Wan Mu. Then Lai Zhongping shouted, "I've been watching you for 3 days. I haven't gone out for 3 days to get a nucleic acid test. You have already turned yellow." Then Lai Zhongping eagerly spoke with Wang Mu's wife, started the nucleic acid test. What he didn't expect was, as he excitedly drew out the horizon, Wang Mu has actually woken up. He saw Lai Zhongping about to insult his wife. "Can't even care about my own wounds." He casually picked up a stick in honor of Lai Zhongping's achievements. It was just a chaotic fight. Lai Zhongping, who is only 1.4 meters tall, nature is not an opponent, can only hurriedly escape. After this case, the police have made a significant breakthrough. They followed the clues provided by Wang. A simulated portrait of Lai Zhongping was created. A person who is 1 meter 40 tall, a man with a face full of freckles, thin as a rake. It's the fearsome couple killer. In 10 years, Lai Zhongping committed a total of 34 crimes, killed 45 people during the nucleic acid test, explored the death penalty, mother-in-law's unexpected pregnancy covered up. Jinfu turns out to be the son-in-law. Lai Zhongping, who lives in Quejiang City, Yunnan Province. There was a mother-in-law who relied on her skills to speak her mind. This year, Lai Zhongping and his wife are living together. Every day apart from eating and drinking, I do nothing else. Still occasionally asks his daughter for money. If you don't pay, there will be scolding and fussing, screaming and scaring away ghosts. This left Lai Zhongping and his wife deeply perplexed. After receiving the money this year, I will just get involved with some men I met online. It is also called fashionable. Not only that. This year, I will bring a man I just met home to live with me. Lai Zhongping and his wife call those men to come over. They have no sense of shame at all. All of this made the villagers gossip endlessly. This also made Lai Zhongping and his wife very angry and embarrassed. For these indecent men, Lai Zhongping and his mother-in-law have had quite a few arguments this year. But this year, we won't be accepting gifts. It became even more relentless. She feels that her daughter has a son-in-law by her side. Every day is lived abundantly. And I, a lonely person, am looking for a few cheap fathers for my daughter. She always complains and is never pleased. In a moment of anger, this year, we confronted the Lai Zhongping couple. She said she is already pregnant, and the child's father is the son-in-law Lai Zhongping. I still want to find a cheap dad for my daughter, and I still have to give her a cheap son. In the future, the children I give birth to, Lai Zhongping and his wife need to make a living. When they grow up, Lai Zhongping will divide the house among the children. This year, Lai Zhongping and his wife were furious, cursed at him. At such an old age, still refusing to listen, doing such sneaky things, and then frame it on my own son-in-law. I'm not afraid of being laughed at by the villagers. But this year, Lai Zhongping said casually, now speaking so earnestly, "Well, you weren't that serious. Didn't you say I was your sweetheart? They said my figure is much better than my daughter's. Have you forgotten all about it?" This year's words completely infuriated Lai Zhongping. He shouted that he didn't want Lao Lai anymore. For a moment, the three people argued fiercely. This year, they really showcased their best skills, crying, throwing a tantrum, and threatening to hang oneself. He even took out a lighter. They said they were going to set the house on fire. This commotion seems never ending. The neighbors around were also startled by them. Everyone is leaning on the wall to watch the excitement. The loud noise naturally startled those living nearby. Lai Zongping's brother. I originally intended to come and advise not to cause trouble this year. But this year they were caught with their pants down, shouting, "You can't run away either. You should also give me a share of your house in the future." Finally, Lai Zhongbing and his wife, "Can't stand my mother-in-law's hovering control," decided to temporarily stay at my mother-in-law's house late at night. After they left, this year started off just like nothing happened while watching TV. After a while of watching, the power at home suddenly went out. This made him think it must be Lai Zhongping's older brother. The tricks of the Song people. So, feeling furious, I went to confront them. Gifts for the Song people. Ki Songren's head was just publicly showcased this year. I really don't want to interact with him much. So I plan to just kick this year out. As a result, this year turned out to be quite chaotic. Engaged in a scuffle with a Song person. He thought he was pregnant. The Song people dared not strike him with heavy blows. Who knew that this Song person had gone crazy long ago? Directly strangling this year's neck, until he completely ran out of energy. Only then did he let go. After killing this year, Song Ren intends to destroy the evidence. He carried this year's corpse to Lai Zhongping's house, then set fire to the house and burned the bodies, spreading rumors again after putting out the fire. This year has been after the argument with my daughter. I really feel shameless. So he set himself on fire to commit suicide. However, the police conducted forensic identification. Yet, traces were still found. This year's mouth and nose show no traces of rare ashes. Moreover, he is lying straight on the bed. No signs of struggle. Finally, after a series of investigations, Song Ren's head was successfully captured in the fire. My friend Lai Zhongping is a big fool. He figured he must have some strength. So I personally found a new husband for my girlfriend. Lai Zhongping has been foolish since childhood. When he was young, a rumor was spreading in the village. Lai Zhongping was actually born from a close relative marriage. That's why it looks like a fool. This rumor troubled Lai Zhongping for many years. When he was 18 years old, Lai Zhongping finally mustered up the courage. Go to find Uncle Lai Lu. But who would have thought that uncle would actually take action? Lai Zhongping, in a fit of anger, "I shout that I want to go home to get a knife to stab you. I will also kill your whole family." Several relatives band together to stop him, advise him not to make a big deal out of it. But unfortunately, this Lai Zhongping is an idiot. He believes these relatives not only didn't help, but killed his entire uncle's family. Still persuading myself to dilute my willingness. The situation is biased towards the discussion. Then an idea struck him. Gave each of them a knife. A case that resulted in 1 death and 3 injuries. Lai Zhongping realized he had killed someone and fled to another place. Here he met Jin Lion. 2 people fall in love at first sight, soon confirmed the relationship, and live together. However, Lai Zhongping did not dare to register his marriage with Jin Lion because he is afraid of his identity being exposed. Jin Lion also said she lived a free and unrestrained life. It doesn't matter about that symptom. Thus, the two lived a sweet and passionate life for 11 years. Lai Zhongping has a hobby besides being foolish. "I just love to show off. And so a shocking and foolish incident occurred. October 2015, Lai Zongping realized he was about to face a major obstacle. The first thing that came to his mind was the matter of self-harm was discovered. Lai Zongping watched Jin Lion's silhouette and thought, "If I get caught inside, isn't Jin Lion very lonely by herself?" He made up his mind to find a perfect man for Jin Lion, taking care of Jin Lion after being captured. Lai Zongping thought it over, finally thought of my friend Song Rentu. He not only gets along well with himself, still strong and healthy, Jin Lion will definitely like it. After a rough meal prepared by Lai Zongping, Song Rentu and Jin Lion registered their marriage in September 2015, became a legal couple. From then on, Song Rentu moved into Lai Zongping's home. Three people began to live a life like immortals. At first, Song Rentu felt a lot of pity for Jin Lion. But over time, one's true nature is revealed, frequently calling out to Jin Lion. It's always about getting hit or scolded. This made Lai Zongping very angry. Canny Jin Lian really enjoys this feeling of being beaten by others, even during the day after being hit by Song Ren. At night, it becomes even more exciting. The singing voice practically pierced through the roof. Lai Zongping looked at the woman he loved, singing for others every night. A sinister fire burned deep within, but he thought about how he would soon be captured. Didn't say anything more. Until which day, Song Ren couldn't wait to kick Lai Zongping out of his house, and made a statement to Lai Zongping. "If you keep lingering and don't leave, I will tell you that you raped my wife." Watching the two of them walk further and further away, Lai Zongping began to regret his decision. He realized he put a huge green hat on himself. At the same time, he thought of, if Song Rintu really called the police, the matter of committing murder will definitely come to light. So after his meticulous planning, successfully drove away Jin Lion, and taking advantage of Song Ren's nap time, take out the nail clipper that has been prepared for a long time. Song Ren is cruelly hurt. After Song Ren's death by drowning, Lai Zongping vented his anger, used nail clippers to free Song Rintu's lower body. Then, taking Jin Lion, they walked straight ahead. Qi Jinlian recalled the death of Song Rentu. "The more I think about it, the more scared I become. I've been making a fool of Lai Zongping for such a long time. He definitely won't let himself off the hook." Jin Lion took the opportunity while Lai Zongping was asleep, called the police, successfully sent Lai Zongping to prison. In the end, Lai Zongping also had a math crisis. Sentenced to death, it's settled. This story ends here. Live. Stay tuned for our next episode. Please like, subscribe, share, and support Mingjing and Diantian programs. Finally, Lai Zongping has waited for this pervert. Lai Zongping recognized this person as soon as he saw him. This is Song Rentu, a new student who came to learn fitness a couple of days ago. This person has a body like a little bird, often mocks Lai Zongping's muscles. It all came from drinking light white powder. Actually, there's no strength at all. He always claims he can knock down Lai Zongping with one punch. I didn't expect this guy to be so sleazy. Specializes in stealing women's underwear. Lai Zongping saw Song Rintu looking around. After confirming that no one is around, finally, the corners of the eyes have opened. He carefully picked out the oversized underwear of Jin Lion. As I held it in my hand, I admired it repeatedly. Lai Zongping suddenly shouted and rushed out from the side. "You're such a pervert. Finally, I've caught you. It's already this time." Song Ren couldn't forget. Hang Jin Lion's underwear around the waist. This made Lai Zongping furious. He proudly unleashed a flurry of punches and kicks at Song Ren. He was beaten until his face was bruised and swollen. Face cries for mercy. But Lai Zhongping still felt unsatisfied. "I can't wait to show you today. Are my muscles really impressive?" Then he grabbed Song Rentu by the back of his collar. He was taken to the electric pole in front of the community. Jin Lion asked for a piece of hemp rope again. The couple tied Song Ren to the utility pole together. This is not the end yet. Lai Zhongping put Jin Lion's sexy lingerie on his head again. This operation startled all the neighbors. Everyone gathered to watch. As soon as I heard that the recent lingerie thief was caught, a middle-aged woman in the crowd said with a flushed face, "No wonder my underwear always goes missing. I didn't even have time to wash it before I threw it away. It turns out this young man was the one who stole it. I don't know what he always does with my underwear when he throws it back. This is really embarrassing." Lai Zhongping shamed Song Rentu for over an hour, until the police arrived. Song Ren was rescued, disheveled and in tatters. It was only after the interrogation that we learned. Song Ren, too, is only 17 years old, still a minor, due to a lack of maternal love since childhood. Seeing the youthful and beautiful women on the streets as I grew up, a strange thought suddenly arose, especially seeing the various colorful underwear swaying in the wind. He could no longer suppress his inner longing. She brought the underwear to her nose, smelling it repeatedly. This sentence snared him deeply. From then on, Song Ren's downfall became unstoppable. He began to measure various sizes and colors of underwear. After stealing them back home, "I can only fall asleep by smelling the scent on my underwear every night." Later, he encountered Lai Zhongping's wife, Jin Lion, in the neighborhood, deeply attracted by his beauty and physique, especially the weapons on him. It was simply impossible for Song Ren to look away. From then on, he vowed to collect 100 sets of golden lotus lingerie. But he was caught on the spot by Lai Zhongping after stealing only a few sets. He was humiliated by him. After the police understood the situation, he was released after giving a verbal reprimand to Song Ren. After Song Ren returned to the community, the residents began to point and whisper, even insults. "There's an aunt who tells everyone that her underwear was stolen by him." Ki Song Ren knew. Only stealing lingerie from young and beautiful women. How could you steal from him? All of this was hard for Song Ren to accept. He believes he has achieved such a result. It was all caused by the Lai Zhongping couple. Song Ren, too, feeling indignant, bought a set of knives, returned to Lai Zhongping's home to lie in ambush. Then, after Lai Zhongping returned home, he was brutally killed with a knife. Finally, Song Ren was sentenced to death for murder. A man named Curve, luring the lady away, brings ominous signs. Attacked by the village's half-immortal with poison. Brutally killed it. The one shouting constantly in the courtroom is Lai Zhongping, Join Yuechi County, Sichuan Province. He is the famous Lai Banjian from the village. Originally, Lai Zhongping was considered a prominent figure in the village. But later, a fortune-teller named Song Rentu arrived in the village. This Song Bangxian usually only takes on jobs for ladies to exercise evil and do fortune-telling. The fees are also very expensive. Moreover, he has a habit. Anyone who comes to exercise must be alone with him in a room. As for the two people, what are the two people doing in the room? No one knows. All that is known is that once the lady enters the house, there will be a series of chilling screams. Song Ren, too, would come out each time. Everyone was drenched in sweat, gasping for breath. Go ask those women what happened. They just shook their heads with flushed faces. Song Bangxian's skills in exorcising ghosts are remarkable. Make them very respectful. Others may not know, but Lai Zongping is very clear about it. Ever since Song Ren cast his lot here, fewer people went to Lai Zongping for fortune-telling. This made Lai Zongping very jealous. So he secretly climbed onto the roof of Song Rentu's house to peek. I want to learn Song Rentu's ghost exorcising techniques. At first glance, Lai Zongping has truly broadened his horizons. It turns out there are such good things in this world. Not only can it make money, you can practice exorcism techniques with women every day. More and more people are seeking Song Rentu to drive away ghosts. Lai Zongping was completely enraged. After he calculated a divination for himself, realizing that one's fate is associated with the water element, Song Ren's fate is associated with fire. Still, the fire in the sky specifically restrain him. As long as Song Ren is here for a day, you will be completely defeated by him. Thus, the obsessed Lai Zongping pressed down his murderous intent. After some calculation, Lai Zongping began to pay attention to the weather forecast, waiting for a rainy night, planning to take advantage of the time and place to kill him. A few days later, he finally waited for the opportunity. Lai Zongping took out the lime and wood ash he had prepared earlier. Sneaking into Song Rentu's home, he knocked Song Rentu unconscious with a wooden stick. Then they wrapped Song Rentu's head with lime and plant ash. Rainwater has been collected from outside again, poured onto Song Ren's body, covered in lime. The temperature rises immediately when lime meets water. Song Rentu cried out in pain from the burn. Lai Zongping was afraid that Song Ren's screams would attract the neighbors. He took out the large iron hammer he had prepared earlier. Song Ren was beaten to death. Then, taking advantage of the rain still falling, he fled home overnight. Lai Zongping calculates everything carefully. But a few days later, the fact that I killed someone was still exposed. A rich man came to Song Ren to have his fortune told. After calling for a long time, no one came to the door. Upon entering the room, it was clear that Song Ren had been dead for several days. After reporting, the police conducted an investigation. Learned from a few children. Lai Zongping once advised them, "Don't go to Song Ren's house if there's nothing to do. It's unlucky for a family to have someone die. It is easy to attract ghosts." Thus, Lai Zongping was captured as a key suspect. After Lai Zongping was captured, the attitude was extremely arrogant. Shouting in court showed no sign of remorse. Until I heard that I was sentenced to death, Lai Zongping's eyes revealed a hint of fear. Two great masters suddenly disappeared from a village. Uncertain whether it's a blessing or a curse for the villagers, Anzi poisoned his wife's underwear, just to punish old Wang next door. Lai Zongping is on his third marriage. His first wife said he had a strange and raw personality. The second wife has passed away. Thus, an astonishing introduction. Lai Zongping married the beautiful Jin Lian. After marriage, the couple ran a restaurant together. Jin Lian replied. The restaurant was in disarray. Lai Zongping is introverted and doesn't like to socialize. Is responsible for working hard in the kitchen. The restaurant business is doing very well. Life goes on quite prosperously. Recently, Lai Zongping has been troubled by something. Since I bought my wife a smartphone, Jin Lian often kept her phone close at hand, always grinning foolishly at the phone. Occasionally, she would show a shy expression. Whenever there's free time, I take out my phone and can't stop looking at it. Every time Lai Zongping asked him what he was watching, Jin Lian always hurriedly hides her phone, saying they are in contact about business. Let Lai Zongping mind his own business. However, Lai Zongping felt Jin Lian is not contacting for business. Who contacts business late at night while holding their phone? My wife is acting so sneaky. Lai Zhongping began to suspect that his wife was cheating on him. Seeing Jin Lion like this, Lai Zhongping also advised him to rein in his behavior and live a good life. Who knew it would be like this after the difficulty? Jin Lion became even more outrageous. Often, I go out for most of the day without returning home. Every time I ask him where he went, just said he was going to the market to buy vegetables. All of this made Lai Zhongping extremely resentful. So, taking advantage of Jin Lion going out to buy groceries again, Lai Zhongping quietly followed. Let's see what Jin Lion is up to. Who knows if he really went to the vegetable market? After buying a lot of groceries here, Jin Lion arrived at Song Rentu's stall selling cucumbers. Song Rentu lived next door to the Lai Zhongping couple. Usually you can always see Jin Lion and him studying together. Jin Lion picked up a cucumber and asked Song Rentu, "Old Song's cucumber is quite large. Is it fresh?" Song Ren immediately recognized it was Jin Lion. Lion Wang said, "These too sour, Song Lion. It can be eaten or used. How about I still feel heartbroken for you?" Hearing Lao Song say this, Jin Lion reflected instead of getting angry. Lion Wang said, "I don't believe the cucumber is fresh. Go to the warehouse and pick out a few good ones for me. I want to watch you choose." Then the two people entered the warehouse, one after the other. It took 2 hours to come out of the warehouse. Before leaving, Jin Lion reminded Song Ren too, "I will come back in a few days." After Jin Lion left, Song Ren too proudly told others, "How could I say that old Lai's ex-wife would still come looking for me?" Lai Zhongping observed everything. He hated those two people to the core, unexpectedly put a green hat on him in public. Then Lai Zhongping thought of a clever idea. He took the opportunity while doing laundry at home. Soak Jin Lion's underwear in herbal pants. Then take it out and let it dry, as the two were in close contact. Song Rentu can only enter through the mouth. Unaware, Jin Lion put on the poisonous underwear. Signs of poisoning have also appeared, but Jin Lion only thought she had an inflammation, didn't take it to heart. Lai Zhongping felt delighted as he looked at the flowers, thinking that this time the adulterous couple would get their comeuppance. What Lai Zhongping didn't expect was, "Jin Lion's symptoms are getting worse. Opening my hand made me dizzy. Taking the medicine doesn't seem to help." A few days later, they even fainted in the bathroom. This is when Lai Zhongping started to feel scared. The alliance sent Jin Lion to the hospital. Can be rescued. Jin Lion still suffered from organ failure. Passed away after failed rescue. In the end, Lai Zhongping pondered deeply. Voluntarily came to the police station to confess. The bizarre case of poisoned underwear has been revealed. The 70-year-old man is puzzled by 4 things. Unexpectedly, he took advantage of the 18-year-old nanny. At 76, Lai Zhongping had done many bad things in his youth. Also served time for rape, due to the descendants being too lazy to go out and work. So I just stayed at my sister's house. When my sister passed away unexpectedly, specifically instructed her husband, "You must help your younger brother." After all, Lai Zhongping is the only boy in the family. So the brother-in-law continued to support Lai Zhongping. Lai Zhongping didn't have any particular hobbies. "I usually like to take the child with me, chatting with the aunt in the park, talk about the gossip of other people's families." Recently, Lai Zhongping heard that there is a young nanny pregnant in the next building, and the child's father is old Wang, who is in his 60s. This made Lai Zhongping very envious. Imagining that I could also have a youthful adventure, he set his sights on the family maid. But now this nanny is in her 40s and not good-looking. Lai Zongping believes he is not worthy of himself, so they started to deliberately pick a fight. Let the brother-in-law send him off with a head. Later, I found 5 or 6 more nannies. Lai Zongping felt dissatisfied until Jin Lion appears. Lai Zongping finally broke into a smile. Usually, I would help Jin Lion with her tasks. He often sends him various gifts. As time goes by, Lai Zongping felt that Jin Lion also had feelings for him, so taking advantage of a certain practice. Start to make advances on Jin Lion. This encounter made Lai Zongping's heart flutter. My mind is filled with Jin Lion, skin filled with collagen, delicate and supple. Actually, regarding Lai Zongping's goodwill, Jin Lion had long expressed her dissatisfaction. It's just out of consideration for the employer's reputation. Lai Zongping was not exposed at all. But who knew that Lai Zongping was not only unrestrained, still inexplicably confident. He thinks Jin Lion is just shy. That's why I often decline. Then Lai Zongping began to intensify his actions. One time, the whole family went out to deliver a head. Lai Zongping believed the opportunity had come, quietly sneaked into Jin Lion's room, want to forcefully compete with Jin Lion and exclude her. But who knew that there was such fierce resistance from Jin Lion? Not only did I fail to get it. Instead, she was kicked hard several times by Jin Lion. This time, Jin Lion could bear it no longer. Lai Zongping told all the various police officers about the head delivery. Even the family of the person sent away feels it. It's really a hidden danger. So he gave Lai Zongping 2,000 yuan. Just drove him out. Lai Zongping has been relying on his sister all these years. Working is definitely not an option. I will never be able to work a regular job in this lifetime. Now there's nowhere to live again. 2,000 was quickly spent. Lai Zongping, who has fallen to the streets. I began to miss the peaceful days at the headhunter's place. But he doesn't feel that he is wrong. Blame began to fall on Jin Lion. If Jin Lion obediently yielded to herself, then he wouldn't have ended up on the streets. The more he thought about it, the more ruthless he became. So I bought a fruit basket, hiding in the hallway waiting for Jin Lion to return. As Jin Lion entered the elevator with no way to escape, Lai Zongping quietly followed him into the elevator. He viciously stabbed Jin Lion more than 10 times, until Jin Lion no longer struggles. Lai Zongping finally felt relieved of this pent-up anger, discarded the weapon, and escaped the scene. 17 days after Lai Zongping's escape, returned once again to the neighborhood of the person who sends heads. The police, who were lying in wait, captured them in one fell swoop. According to him, it's that there's no money on me, yet I don't want to work. So I plan to go back and kidnap the grandson who had offered a head, hit him hard with a knock. In the end, Lai Zongping was sentenced to death. It really proves that saying. It's not that the old man has turned bad, but the bad guys have grown old. A man has raped and murdered over 40 young men within a year.